Hi guys, today I bring you a Lissajous curve simulator, where we can see this beautiful pattern that an object draws with a trail that is basically a Lissajous curve. Basically, it's an object that is moving in two different directions, is oscillating, going and coming back in two axes. We have this axis, X and Y. So this movement that we can change different parameters is creating this beautiful pattern. Like right now, the infinite shape. But don't worry, we can change the pattern. And by the way, if you want this project, because you can use this simulator in your browser, you can download this project on my pattern. So let's see how we can change this. If we go in the top corner here, we have a button and we have all the parameters to change this. So first of all, if you want to hide the axis, you can click here and we can see only the beautiful pattern and we can show it again. Now, to understand how this works, let me decrease the frequency of Y. So right now we have this dot only oscillating. Remember, oscillating means going and coming back in one X, in X. And here we can increase how many times by second is going. For example, if I say 1 because 0 means not movement, that means is slower. But we can increase the frequency. So basically, the frequency is saying how many times is moving in one axis. Okay, now we can do the same, but with the other axis, Y. And here we can increase the amplitude. So the amplitude is this distance. Let's increase this to see it better. As you can see now, it's going from here to here. And we can do the same with this. So more amplitude, let's increase the frequency, more distance. Okay, so now if we activate both axes with a frequency, we start having, and we add some amplitude, these shapes. We can start drawing some interesting shapes. By the way, here we have how many seconds we want to show the trail. And this speed is to increase the frequency of both at the same time. So if you want to make it faster, we can see faster these patterns. So for example, I want to increase this amplitude. I'm going to increase this to 300. Oops, let's come back this. 300. And I want more amplitude here, so let's increase to 100. Now, if I want the infinite in the other direction, like before, I need to invert this, because now it's moving twice in this axis and once in this axis. So let's say 2 and 1. Not 0, 1. And now we have the infinite shape, as you can see. But if we increase, let me add more trail so we can see better. By the way, here we can increase the thickness, and also if you want, we can change the color. But let's leave it blue because it's beautiful. So if we want to create different patterns, by the way, if you want to create a perfect cycle, we need to use this phase shift. This basically goes from 0 to 360. And if you want to create a perfect cycle, you need to add a phase shift of 90 degrees. But we need to add the same frequency, like this. And of course, we need to add the same amplitude to have a perfect cycle. So for example, let's add 300. And now we have a perfect cycle, as you can see. This only works if we add 90 degrees shift. If we start playing with that, we get different shapes, as you can see. Okay, let's leave it in 0 and let's come back to make some interesting patterns. So for example, if we, let me add more train length, and and need to increase this. Now something happens. As you can see, we start drawing some really cool patterns. And more frequency we add, as you can see, this beautiful shape appears. Also, if we add the maximum, look at this. Wait a minute, have to be 10 and 9. Look at this, it's so beautiful. So, to create this pattern is with this type of movement called Lissajous curve, where it has an equation, and changing the frequency and the amplitude, we can draw these beautiful patterns. If you want to use this project, remember you have this simulator on the description where you can download and use it in your computer. If you like this video, give a like, subscribe, and see you in the next simulation.